Hello, RightMesh node bodies. I'm Dana Harvey, the Chief Communications Officer here at RightMesh, and today I'm here to talk with one of our newest hires, Dr. Lucien Loiseau, our lead networking scientist. Lucien, welcome to RightMesh.
Thank you.
Lucien, we're so pleased to have you on our team. As you know, and node bodies as you know, we are on a really important, revolutionary, and global mission to change connectivity. And part of our mission involves looking for and hiring the best and brightest minds to join us on this mission. And we are super excited to have you join us, as you are known as one of the leading experts in mesh networking. We sent out a press release a couple of weeks ago explaining the acqui-hire of Piper Chain, the stealth startup that you've been working on with Misha, as many other people know in the mesh networking community, and bringing you on board. Welcome to your first week at RightMesh. As we know, you live in Singapore currently with your wife and your small baby.
Yes.
Is this your first trip to Vancouver?
It is. Yeah.
And what are your first impressions of Vancouver and the RightMesh community here?
It looks a fantastic city to live in first. And well, my first onboarding week at RightMesh was full of a pleasant surprise, a warm welcome, and an amazing work ahead.
Excellent. And as you probably saw when you first came into our office, we have the legendary Lefty Wall, which lists the 10 core values upon which our company is built. One of the things that I found, Lucien, when I visited our offices in Bangladesh, was that I immediately felt at home, because one of the first things I saw there was that they also have this legendary Lefty Wall, in which we recognize the values that we live by, that we work by, and we recognize our colleagues who are exemplifying those values. I'm just wondering, out of those 10 values, Lucien, which of those values most resonates with you?
I remember reading a sentence in a book on the movie Cloud Atlas. It was a girl who was saying a speech at the end of the movie. She said something along the line, from womb to tomb we are bound to the others, past and present, and by each crimes and every kindness we bear for our future. And I believe that relates a lot with the core value, where we don't really know what the future is about, but by making as much positive change in our actions, well, we make small steps toward a better future. Yeah. So
excellent.
I think this one I share a lot, this idea.
So obviously our values are in synergy, but there's a lot more than just our values that are synergistic between what you've been working on, your background in mesh networking, and Piper Chain that you've been working on with Misha. Can you tell us a little bit more about the synergies from a technical side? What compelled you to agree to come along and join the RightMesh vision?
Well, we have a very, very close mission, as you said. When I worked with Misha on Piper Chain, the goal was to connect the unconnected. So, as you know, there is a big digital gap when it comes to the access for the infrastructure, and thus the services. And the idea with Piper Chain was to bring some services, mainly social networking, to communities who are disconnected, so who doesn't have a cell phone, GSM, data plans, either because it's too expensive or because it doesn't exist, because for like when there is an earthquake or a catastrophe, or for some other reasons when there is some political blockades which prevents the access to those networks. So by using ad hoc mesh networkings, we can create an infrastructure which is carried by the phone, and thus create services on top of that, and everybody's got fun. So we worked on it with Misha. We tried to do a sort of an Instagram, Twitter application on top of ad hoc technology, and it turns out that RightMesh has the same goal, and it made a lot of sense in joining our efforts.
Excellent. And RightMesh is continuing on with the development of Piper Chain. So that will come under the fold of RightMesh, and another initiative that we're pleased to be working on with you. Can you maybe tell our watchers and our viewers a little bit more about the role that you will be playing in the RightMesh technical team here?
Sure. So I joined the technical team, so I will be working along with Jason on Fraser, on many other developers on strengthening, on expanding the capabilities of the mesh core. So that is all the functionalities which allows the phone to connect to the neighboring phones, on building multi-hop routes towards the other users in a certain vicinity. So basically having a network which is as most efficient as possible, and that can work in every condition possible. So.
I understand that an area of expertise and specialty for you is the design of delay-tolerant networks and routing protocols. With that in mind, I'm wondering, what do you see as the most exciting technical challenge ahead of us or ahead of you with RightMesh?
So it's a very interesting question. So far, most of the effort in the world of ad hoc networking has been to manage networks in a way that people in a certain area can communicate easily. And that's what RightMesh has been doing. On the idea of bringing crypto incentives through tokenization of the resource is a great effort in that direction. But one of the most difficult things to deal with when we start working in this area is to deal with mobility, because mobility disrupts routes. It makes disconnections happen in the network, so we have to do a lot of clever trick to be both responsive, efficient into detecting those events. So there is another class of networks which, as you mentioned, I worked on in the past, called DTN, in which mobility is seen not as a bug, not as a problem to deal with, but more as a feature, because it allows to bring disconnected clouds of users. When users move from one community of people to another, it actually is an opportunity to transmit data from one place to another. So DTN, delayed remote networks, cannot apply to any kind of applications, because if you need real-time messaging, obviously you can't just wait that people move around and propagate your message. It wouldn't be real-time. That's why it's called delayed tolerant networks. But from other use cases, such as spreading information following a catastrophe, you want to know where are the water points, where are the rendezvous points to exit a certain area, what are the areas to avoid, for instance, like in the flare application.
Yes.
We need those kind of networks where mobility can take data and spread it to the disconnected people. And one of the challenges will be to bring crypto economics into this area, and I believe it is still a lot of greenfield over there, and I'm very excited to work on it.
That's fascinating, and you're right, that is a big challenge for us ahead of us, and I think we're up for it. We're building an excellent team, and with you on our team, I think we'll get there even faster. So that's a little bit on the technical side. Now, Lucien, a little bit on the personal side. I noticed in your LinkedIn profile that you have 4 languages listed, and I'm really interested, obviously as a global company with a global initiative, having people with language skills is important. What are the languages that you know, and what are you learning?
French is my mother tongue, so I was raised in France, in Bretagne, in the city of Nantes. So that's a language I'm most fluent with. But then English obviously is a world-class language. You can't really evolve in the professional area without speaking English. In France, we have to choose a second language for our curriculum, so I chose Spanish. But my interest right now is in learning Chinese, because my wife is Chinese, and that's the only way to speak with my family-in-law.
Chinese is definitely not the easiest language to learn, so good for you for taking that on. I wish you the best of success, and hopefully we can use your skills as we progress as well. And obviously a man of many passions and talents. I did notice as well that you're a volunteer for La Semelienne, the Gymnastics Association of Nantes, and I'm really interested in what is your involvement there and what drives your passion in that arena.
Well, that's quite a few years back now, but I've been a member of La Semelienne for many years. It's a gymnastic association, gymnastic club in France. And as a part of the association, it's expected that after a while you receive teachings from the older member, and when you grow a bit older, you have to invest your time to teach to the younger one. So I've been teaching a while
You've been giving back to that association.
Exactly.
Well, I guess that's another really good fit with RightMesh. As you know, that giving back to our communities is another core value of ours, and as a team we're actually given unlimited numbers of days off to volunteer in our relevant communities. So there are so many good reasons why, Lucien, you're such a great fit for RightMesh. We are so proud and honored to have you on our team, and we really look forward to developing our mission with you.
I'm very excited to be part of the team. I'm looking forward to changing the world.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed getting to know our newest team member, Dr. Lucien Loiseau, lead networking scientist here at RightMesh. We're so pleased to have him on our team, and we're really looking forward to bringing you node bodies more of these kind of interviews to let you get to know our team really well.